When the three-dimensional maneuver gear has been reduced to a household cleaning utensil, you know we've entered some sad times. This episode of Attack on Titan Junior High was mainly 50 to 60% of cleaning, and the rest of it was just parodies retelling the events of Eren's training of when he was trying to use the three-dimensional maneuver gear in the original series. So this episode, I'm fucking dead. Like, I'm just straight up dead. Like, I laughed so hard, I'm dead. When I saw the training and how Eren was getting upset to how the cleaning was done, especially with what the three-dimensional maneuver gear has been reduced to, I couldn't help but laugh. Like, I fucking laughed my ass off. When I saw how, like, the maneuver gear was destroyed and Eren was using it and all that, and when you had the question being asked to her, like, hey, is the, maneuver gear broken? Is it broken? And then, she was freaking out, like, oh god, oh god. And then all of a sudden you have Rohanis, he rushes in, and he's like, hits the wall, and he's like, I was drunk, I didn't lack the courage, I was just drunk. If you don't get that joke, I don't know what to say. Like, you should know Hane, how he is as a character when he says, like, I didn't lack the courage, I was just drunk. That line with his character is just so fucking hilarious, because if you think about it, think about the beginning of the series, courage, what he did with Eren, ran off, just think about that for a second and process that line and what that line means. That line just insulted himself. Like, he just straight up fucking insulted himself in the original series. Oh my god. That was just, yes. We need more of that. Okay, so Attack on Titan Junior High. Personally, I can see where some might think that this episode isn't as good as others. I can see that because, I mean, depending on what type of comedy you like, especially with some of the parodies, you might think this episode is good or not, because, I mean, majority of the episode was cleaning. Like, it was cleaning, and not a lot of it focused on parodies, like, focusing on retelling of certain events of Attack on Titan. So if you prefer it to, like, completely focus on, like, a retelling, you might be disappointed with this episode, but if you're fine with the cleaning, I think you will enjoy this episode quite a bit. I mean, Levi, at the very least, it will be very proud with, our new squad, with the wall cleanup squad, because they clean the windows, they're cleaning the wall, they're gonna have to clean up graffiti, just some pretty funny shit. Speaking of the graffiti, I want to talk about that. So, I pointed this out once before in the first and second episode, but I want to point it out here, though. I love how the Titans are being reduced to school bullies, like, just stealing food, writing on the walls, they're having to clean up after the Titans. It's so funny seeing how Titans are just bullies. That's what they're being labeled as in this series. And seeing that type of perspective is just so weird, but funny. And I mean, if you look at the way it's been going, like, Eren's just trying to stand up to the bullies, I can't help but laughing. Like, I mean, just think about this. Eren is just so small, and he's, like, trying to stand up to bullies. It's a courageous thing, but it's just hilarious when you think about his character in the original series. But, let's just move past that. So, the episode of Attack on Titan Junior High, I couldn't help but smile, laugh at certain parts and segments. I think my favorite part of this episode had to be the Hannes when he just rushed into the wall and he hit the wall. I think that was my favorite moment of this episode. There was certain few other points of this episode that are pretty damn good. I mean, when the maneuver gear was introduced and being reduced to cleaning utensils, just like, oh my god. And then, the final part with the graffiti of how Eren just smacks the wall and then he gets painted. So yeah, I mean, how do you all feel about this series? Since we're this far in, we're almost halfway in through this series, like, we're almost done or halfway done with this anime season already. It's crazy if you think about it. I mean, we're almost halfway done with, like, the series from this season. About to be on episode 6 or 7, and that's, like, usually the halfway point. So tell me your thoughts. I mean, how do you feel about how this season is already going that fast? How do you feel about this series? How do you feel about Attack on Titan Junior High? Is it, keeping your attention span to where you enjoy it, or are you disliking it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.